Sidney Morin.
Ronja Mogren.
Can you guys talk a little bit about your mindset last week and going into that series against Boston, and coming off of the kind of slide in the season? How did you rebound off of that and go into that series?
Yeah, I think honestly the playoffs is a new season, right? So it didn't really matter what had happened before, although it was a pretty terrible end of the season. We really had nothing to lose, right? Like I said this last weekend to a couple reporters. We were either going to go in there and get swept or we were going to go in there and show the league what we're made of, and that's exactly what we did. So I think we had a really good start to the first game on Thursday, and it kind of made everyone look around the bench and be like, "Oh crap! Like we actually can do this if this is how we play," and that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, I can only agree to what Sydney was saying. Just like fresh start, playoffs, like whatever happened before that, forget about it and come into this new season, which is playoffs, and just like having that good feeling in the first game of the semifinals. I think we all proved to ourselves that we can do this and we can beat this team. So
Yeah, how does that help your confidence scoring? I think within 2 minutes of the first game, how did that help your confidence? How did you play from there? Or use that to push forward?
no, I think that was huge for us. Like just getting that momentum and go off of that and getting everyone get in line and like just go for the win after that.
Yeah, I think I would just say like on the team's behalf, like when you see a player on your team who hasn't scored yet this season score a goal like that at the start of a series against Boston, like I said, it just made the bench go crazy. Everyone was so happy for her, and if your fourth line can score a big goal like that in their first shift of the game, it's going to make everybody else on the team step up, and I think that everybody did that.
Now, what is your mindset for the next series moving forward here? What are you guys working on to maintain that?
I think it's still that underdog mentality, honestly. Nothing to lose. Another team that has beat us quite a few times this season. But it doesn't really matter. Obviously they saw what we did here at the beginning of the postseason, and I'm sure they're expecting a different team than they expected before. And we're expecting them to give us everything they have going for their first Isobel Cup ever. So I think for us, it's just playing with the same mentality that we did, just playing with confidence, a little bit more structure, and honestly, anything that a team throws at us, we're going to be ready.
No.
I guess, and also, can you talk a little bit about why is this team special?
Honestly, we've been through so many like roller coasters this season, right? Like the beginning of the season, another tough stretch right at the beginning of the season with a lot of new players, not really knowing what to expect in this league, not knowing what to expect from one another. We lost, I think, the first 4 games of the season. Went on a couple winning streaks there in the middle, lost some more, had a huge 6-win run right after the Christmas break that really put us in playoff contention and put us in this playoff spot that really proved a lot to us and the league that we belong. And then again, another tough stretch right, before the playoffs. We lost 3 players to the national team, and we didn't play very well, really, to be honest. We kind of struggled in our home rink, which kind of sucks. We were having great crowds, a ton of support from the community, but just haven't been able to produce here in this building. Um, but every team goes through adversity at some point in their season, and um, it builds character, right? And what we did this past weekend, I think, is really special, and will stick with a lot of these girls for a long time.
Looking back at all the adversity, everything that you've done, what would it mean to get the Isabel Cup back to
I think it would mean a lot to all of us. We all went into this season and we all have the same goal, trying to win the Isobel Cup. So just I do think it's the goal for everyone and it would mean a lot. It's kind of like a dream you have, and for me especially being the first season with Minnesota Whitecaps and go for that Isobel Cup would be huge, and I think we all can agree on that.
I would just say, in addition, like we have so many girls on this team that are from Minnesota, which is obviously I'm one of them, and I think playing for our hometown team that a lot of us grew up playing for the Minnesota Junior Whitecaps back in the day. Like it's really special to be representing this team and representing our home state. And obviously they won the Isobel Cup in 2018 in their very first season in the league, which was special for the state. But it would be really special to a lot of the girls on this team to do that for the state of Minnesota again.
Those are all my questions.
Hi. Thanks for coming up before practice, guys. So I know neither of you were on the team 2 years ago when Boston won in the final against the Whitecaps. Have you gotten any sense that it's a little sweeter this year to be the ones to knock Boston out?
I think definitely, obviously, they've had a tremendous season, have a ton of incredibly talented players, and they've really asserted themselves as the top team in the league this year. So obviously, that game on Thursday was super special. Just to get that first win in a series of three is just especially important, and kind of just to see how they reacted to that game and kind of how we kind of drained the life out of them was honestly gave us like more belief that we could do it again on Saturday, and that's exactly what we did. But a lot of credit to them for the incredible season that they have had. But it was definitely a special feeling.
So now we know you're going to be facing Toronto on Sunday. Any observations about that team? Will the approach be different than going into the series against Boston?
I mean, again, another team with a ton of talented offense, a lot of forwards that have proven themselves to be goal scorers in this league. So definitely going to be a point of focus to shut down some of their forwards, make sure that we defend well. But honestly, it's kind of like I said earlier to these other reporters, just the mentality that we're still the underdog and we have to work our butts off if we want to come out with this win. And as long as we do it together, as just like we did this past weekend, I'm not worried.
I just want to say I was sorry to hear about Lugano, and if you guys wanted to say anything about that.
I think it's really sad, and you see the women's hockey grow all over the world right now, especially here. It's taking huge steps. I've played in Sweden before; they're also developing, and just like hearing about this news, it's just so sad, and you just wish it would be different. And but I just think also that like speaks for that there's still so much to do, and I think for these other countries there's still things that needs to develop and grow, but just for me it's really sad. So
Yeah, I mean, we obviously feel for our former teammates. We heard the news a couple days before it went public from some of them, and it's hard to hear that some of them might not continue to play hockey because of that, and they don't want to move their lives into other places. So, like Ronja said, there's still a lot of work to be done in other countries, and we hope that the PHF here in the U.S. can be a model for some of these other countries to have more support from whoever it may be, and there's still a lot of work to be done.
Congrats on the goal, and thank you guys.
Thank you.
thank you.